Innovation is a core value to our business. Today is time to open those minds and think out of the box. Take this off. So for the next 45 minutes, anything is in, guys. Let's go creative. It's showtime. Some of our clients come to us and ask us for help to build a culture that fosters innovation and creativity. And they ask us, hey, can you skill up our teams to be more innovative, to be more creative?
Well, of course we can.
But before we do that, let's have a look at what you as a business leader are doing that is either hindering or helping creativity within your organization. First way, you reserve creativity for special occasions. You only ask your people to wear their creative hats a couple of times a year during a product launch or marketing campaign, or maybe your annual town hall where everybody dresses like casual Friday and you ask them to be creative from 9:30 till 11. Today is time to open those minds and think out of the box. Take this off. You guys know me as a bit of a stiff old guy. So for the next 45 minutes, anything is in, guys. Let's go creative. It's a bit like fitness. If I never work out and I never lift weights, you can't expect me to all of a sudden carry a bar from the ground without hurting my back. The exact same goes for creativity. Think about small and simple things you can do every day that work those muscles. Ask people different questions. Think about getting people to sit next to somebody else. Ask them to challenge the way they work. Get a suggestions box out there. A great example of a structure that fosters creativity is companies like 3M who get their teams to spend a chunk of their time working with other teams on completely different projects. The second way, you want the right answer right away, and therefore you are not allowing people enough time to experiment and learn from their mistakes. And I want you to think out of that box and, come up with some completely new and different ideas. Anything goes. I mean, as long as they pay themselves back within 3 months. Which reminds me of an old team building game. Two teams were asked to compete and build the tallest possible structure using 3 A4 pieces of paper. One team was given 3 sheets of paper, and the other team, of course, was given an entire stack of papers, as many papers as they needed to come up with the answer. And which team do you think won that competition every time? That's right, the team with a stack of paper to tear up and to play with and to find new and different ways of doing it. The other team with only 3 sheets of paper basically had very little room for error. Think of simple ways you can bring in experimentation in your everyday work before you pick the one that works for you. Number 3, you are not getting your hands dirty. So many times we hear people say that innovation is important to the organization. Innovation is a core value to our business. Innovation is not a value, by the way. Innovation is an outcome of something else. To innovate, you need creativity. If you want your people to be more creative, you're going to have to lead by example. Think about ways you can challenge the way you work, or you challenge the status quo, or you find new and different ways to save cost or to run meetings. If you don't do it, you're basically letting everybody know that it's not that important. Now, a great example is a friend of mine wanted to build a company culture where ideas flow freely and silos are broken down. There was only one big problem. Their offices were laid out like a lot of offices are. It had cubicles, the senior managers had their own little private offices on the side of the building overlooking the city, and they had all these borders up that inhibited people from communicating. One of the first things he did was give up his own office and turn it into a small creative space where people could get together and talk and share insights and build ideas and experiment. And that's a great example of getting your hands dirty. Number 4, you don't reward it. Well, you do, but then you kind of don't. I want to thank everybody for the input on this creative project. And as a token of appreciation, we've put some money aside to get you some very special prizes. We got you chopsticks that also serve as coloring pencils. So next time you're having your noodles, you can also, draw stuff. Look, if you say that taking risks and experimenting and coming up with new things is important, link it to the bonus scheme, link it to the performance conversation you are having at the end of the year. A great example is the company Hire named their new products and services after the people who came up with them. How cool is that as a reward? Your name on something that you've created that's out there in the market. And the 5th way, you only engage certain people within the organization. I mean, let's be fair, right? Let's not invite Bob because, we did the MBTI and he came out as an IST. I don't know what's up with him. He's just not a creative guy. We were in a meeting the other day and he just sits there and just... Right, so let's just say that we're not going to call upon him for any creative work. Let me ask you this. Where does innovation and creativity sit within your business? Is it with R&D? Is it with tech? Is it with marketing? Do you have an innovation team? Do you have certain people walking around in the business with the word creative on their name card who come from the creative industry? So the first problem there is it might lead to groupthink. If they come from similar backgrounds, the chances are they'll come up with similar stuff. And the second problem is all these other people who you don't involve in this will probably get cynical.
I've got lots of ideas, just nobody ever listens, nobody ever asks me anything.
We believe that creativity and innovation happen at the intersection of different points of view, different insights, different ideas, different thinking, different challenges. That's where the magic happens. I'm done for today. It's Friday afternoon. I've been tripping over my words. I've had the doorbell ring. I've had dogs bark, kids screaming. It's been a rough video, and here are some of the notes. Catch you next time.